I'm showing you the top 10 duos in the NBA today. Whether they're competing for a title together or have shown massive upside heading into 2021, each pairing you'll see ranked in this video control the pace of the game so dominantly that they have a make-or-break impact on their team's hopes and dreams. First, Caleb gets the shout-out for filling out his playoff bracket and giving great insight for every pick. Answers like these make y'all the best Hoops Talk community on YouTube. Questions coming up for next video shoutout. A quick note that due to injuries, duos Curry/Thompson, Wall/Beal, Simmons/Embiid, and Durant/Irving won't be included in this list. Number 10, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. We all know the Greek freak next to LeBron and Kawhi is debatably the best player in our game, but remember, we're taking into account collective dominance of duos, so the Giannis and Middleton combo ranks 10th. Middleton's certainly one of our league's best three-point shooters, and is extremely consistent in regular seasons. I'm just not convinced this man is a second option on a championship team. However, due to the facts that Middleton made his second All-Star team this year, the Bucks got the number 1 seed, and his connection with Giannis forms a damn good inside-and-out threat offensively. They earn a spot on this top 10, ahead of an elite young duo you'll see before number 1 in the honorable mention. Number 9, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Around a point guard displaying that he's one of the all-time greatest at the position, Damian Lillard is debatably the best point guard in the postseason. So for that, maybe you're stunned that, combined with a killer like McCollum in the backcourt, this combo isn't ranked any higher. But this list takes into account value in the here and now, meaning that CJ's fractured back that he's playing with diminishes he and Lillard's combined takeover ability. The most dangerous part about this Blazers team as well is that they have such a deep offensive attack. You could draw up the argument that Jusuf Nurkic is deserving of being considered in Rip City's duo, as the value of his return from a broken leg is completely under-talked about. He's providing elite rebounding and scoring at the center spot. The Blazers could go far into the playoffs, but it's not strictly based off Dame and CJ, who we know are very elite to their own degrees. Number 8, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. There were reports that Rudy and Donovan's relationship was damaged beyond repair after Rudy Gobert sparked the suspension of every single sport around the world in a post-game press conference. Not saying he caused it, just sparked it. But now that report that the relationship was damaged just seems like fake news, as Utah's 1-2 punch is looking nearly unstoppable so far in the 2020 playoffs. Even though I picked Denver to win the series in my first round predictions and the Nuggets were unequivocal favorites across the board, you can't forget that Rudy and D-Mitch have pulled off playoff upsets in the past. Back in 2018, they took down the hyped-up Big Three of Russ, PG-13, and Melo in a shocking 5-game series win against the Thunder, but in my aforementioned playoff predictions I made last Sunday, I got one thing very wrong, and that was Denver would game plan for and ultimately shut down Donovan Mitchell. Now, they still may do that, but I'm not going to make that prediction again, because so far, with an average of over 40 points in the first 2 games, including an insane 57-point mauling in Game 1, Donovan Mitchell is completely proving me wrong, and that he's one of the best up-and-coming players in the NBA. Number 7, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Proving he should have made my top 10 clutch players ranking, Jimmy Butler is lighting it up from deep range in the playoffs after shooting a career low from deep in the regular season. Jimmy's one of the better two-way players in our game. He's a 4-time all-defensive team player, and for the first time in his career, he finally has a teammate at the big man spot that is also extremely elite on both ends. The versatility of Miami's beastly big man in the middle, Bam Adebayo, could end up putting the Heat over the top in the Eastern Conference, with guard skills including a flawless passing IQ and an above-average handle. At 6'9" and 255 pounds of pure muscle, Adebayo provides Miami with elite offensive flow. He takes up so much space with his frame, and the all-around threat that Bam Bam is gives Jimmy buckets some major relief. Number 6, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Despite Hayward being out, Boston's 2 young phenoms on the wing make them a formidable Eastern Conference threat. Without Simmons, Philly's struggling to keep up on the perimeter, as Jason's dropped at least 30 points in both outings while Jaylen's dropped at least 20. I've brought this up before, but everything about Jason Tatum's game is absolutely electric. Whether it's his ability to post up and fade away with his brilliant footwork or his Kobe-like creation/deadly pull-up jumpers, he's one of our game's best offensive weapons. Then, overwhelming perimeter defenders, opposing teams will require 2 All-NBA defenders on the wing to deal with Boston, because Jaylen Brown can dominate off the dribble at 6'8", to rise up for insane throwdowns. Both JT and JB are around 40% three-point shooters as well, and overall, they make Boston an absolute problem in the Eastern Conference. They could for sure come out of the East even without Gordon. With Luka passing Wilt Chamberlain for the second most points ever in their first 2 playoff games, the Mavs tied up their best-of-7 series against the Clippers. When he and KP both find a rhythm like they had in Game 2, the combined shooting range of El Matador and the Unicorn extends further than any duo on this list. Luka's seamless pull-up and step-back ability is absolutely lethal, and Kristaps's seamless trigger from nearly the logo at the center spot stretches out the Maverick offense. Also, whether this young combo's connecting in the pick and roll, finding each other off down screens, or just looking for each other on the perimeter, the European duo's got sensational chemistry. Number 4, Russell Westbrook and James Harden. The best backcourt in the NBA is expecting to be back intact within a few games. Despite Westbrook having to miss the first few playoff games, the Beard's still routinely keeping the Rockets' dynamic offense flowing. When Brody isn't on the shelf, his speed along with Harden's ridiculous scoring likely give opposing guards nightmares before they match up with them. Given their talent, this duo has a chance to be one of the greatest of this generation. My only concern is Westbrook shooting too many threes. However, he has cut them down this season. If Russell, for the first time in his career, truly embraces the role of second fiddle and allows the all-time great scoring of James Harden to pave the way, then Houston should win the championship, because Westbrook's athleticism, hustle, IQ, and supreme lateral quickness defensively is the perfect fit next to the Beard. Number 3, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. With debatably the best chemistry of any duo ranked today, Nuggets fans are blessed to watch 2 elite playmakers at both the point guard spot and the center. The Blue Arrow Jamal Murray is extremely polished with fundamentally sound ball handling, as well as balance in his jumpers off the dribble. He's got a sensational awareness and is extremely shifty when maneuvering his way through defenses. It helps that Jamal has a stretch center next to him in Nikola Jokic, who's earned a reputation as the best player at his position. I had Embiid over him in my center rankings a little while ago, but watching more Nugget games now, I've awoken to how Nikola utterly controls the pace of the game. His handoffs into screens, his elusive three-point trigger, and patented dime dropping are the reason this duo ranks so high. Jokic is in the best shape of his life, and I think he's about to show a lot of non-believers that he's not only the league's best 5-man, but one of the better superstars our game has to offer. Number 2, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Earlier in the season, Anthony Davis was absolutely going off, and there was an extreme amount of hype behind the Lakers. In early November, I made a video titled How the Lakers Are Making Teams Quit, which became the second most viewed video in my 2.5 years of making basketball videos. The brilliant pick and roll combination of LeBron and Davis kept its form after that upload I made for quite some time, and right before the suspension, LeBron had beaten every one of the top teams in our game in the last week, and LA had a steaming momentum. Skip ahead 6 months later, and in the bubble dating back to July 30th, in 4 of the 9 games that Davis has played, he shot under 30% from the field. LeBron's been pretty similar to himself since the return, but Laker fans, the reason your duo can't rank at the top right now is because I'm concerned that Anthony Davis isn't even close to being at full strength physically. Honorable mention to Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, who were the driving factor to their team going 8-0 in the seeding games. 23-year-old Devin Booker's proved that he's one of the best shot creators in the league, while up-and-coming low-post phenom DeAndre Ayton's got so much potential. As they get older, the Suns combo is going to rank in my duo list for sure. D-Books hit a ridiculously clutch game winner in the face of 2 top perimeter defenders and averaged 30.5 points and 6 assists in the 8 bubble games. The way Booker operates offensively is nothing less than masterful. Driven by these 2 young phenoms, I'm so excited to see how the Suns perform next season. Number 1, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. On the wing last summer, the Clippers replaced Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with debatably the 2 best perimeter stoppers in our game. The best part about the ultimate playoff performer Kawhi Leonard that us fans don't take into account is his leadership. Even though his partner in crime on the wing, Paul George, shot a measly 4 of 17 in a Game 2 loss, while this duo allowed Doncic to go off. I expect the superstar Clipper combination to bounce back in a major way. Look for Kawhi to really lead and carry his Clipper teammates in every aspect of the game for the rest of this competitive series. Meanwhile, the scariest second option in the league right now, Paul George, obviously needs to be better, but here's why he has an outstanding chance to prove that he's a champion. PG's never had the luxury of being a number 2 option throughout his career, and when they lock in and play motivated, the two-way production simultaneously that he and Leonard provide give the Clips the best duo in the NBA today. For more NBA predictions, stories, and rankings, hit subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Let me know who your favorite duo in the league is for a chance at next video shoutout and to compete in Community Speaks. My name's Adam. Call me D-Flow. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next video.